Well, the union's climate conference begins today in Cancun, and while all the climate change advocates burn fossil fuels to get to the island, alternative fuel champion Al Gore, well, he's starting to take a step back, at least on ethanol. Bjorn Lomborg is the author of The Skeptical Environmentalist, and he's here with the company. And he's actually author of the book Cool It, right?
That's right.
And let's talk about this. Al Gore stepping back just a little bit. Is that a victory for you environmentalist skeptics? I mean, you're an environmentalist, but you think the tactics that he's been using actually hurt your cause.
Well, listen, for instance, the biofuels has been exactly a great example of how we should not proceed. You know, we panic and then we say we got to do something, but putting food in your gasoline tank, that just sounds wrong. But it also raises prices. It causes more people to be poor and starving. It causes us to cut down more forests because we need to grow the food somewhere. And that actually emits more CO2, and we waste money.
The bottom line, it was just a way of subsidizing voters.
And that's what he actually said. You know, he said that he wanted to get the people in Iowa happy about him, which is very honest. You at least got to give him that.
Yeah, I hear you. $100 million in his pocket later. Yeah, I like that. But this meeting in Cancun, I'm getting so tired of these things. The Copenhagen, nothing was really done. It seems like all of these guys get together and it comes down to one thing. America is mean and greedy, and they should pay about $200 or $300 billion for the rest of the world to catch up.
And listen, there is no way this meeting is ever going to result in any meaningful treaty. And that's the real depressing part, that they keep meeting for, they've been meeting for, 19 years now? And they keep making the same sort of treaty. Let's all cut our carbon emissions. And of course, it's not going to happen. Nobody wants to say, yeah, we're going to do with less. We're going to cut back on our consumption. We're going to be less rich. That's just not going to work.
Because you can't believe these guys anymore. For Al Gore to say, the reason I supported ethanol is because of my home state of Tennessee and I was supporting the farmers, the whole thing becomes bunk. Nobody believes any of it now.
And listen, this is true. There's a lot of partisan politics going into this. I think it shouldn't take away from the idea that this is a real problem. Global warming is something we need to tackle, but we're just tackling it incredibly ineffectively, essentially through biofuels and many, many other attempts. The biggest problem, I think, is the idea that we're all saying, all right, let's put up lots of windmills, a lot of solar panels. It makes us feel good. It makes good photo ops. But
tell us how we should be solving the problem.
Well, fundamentally, before green technology is cheaper than fossil fuels, you're never going to get people to switch over. You're not going to get it in the U.S. You're not going to get it in the rest of the rich world. But you're certainly not going to get China and India switching over. They have more important problems. They want to lift hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. And that's what fossil fuels do. So we need to invest dramatically more in research and development, not in buying the stuff, but in getting the technology to be much smarter in the next 20 to 40 years. Then, once it's cheaper than fossil fuels, we've solved global warming because people are going to switch over.
Bjorn, maybe nothing is happening at these meetings one after another because some of the leading scientists got caught massaging the data to push their ideological views as scientific theory. How much did ClimateGate hurt their cause?
Oh, it definitely hurt them because it made people realize the IPCC, the UN Climate Panel, weren't gods. They were treated like rock stars, and we just all sort of bowed down in front of them. But I think in some ways that's very, very healthy because now we can have a much more serious conversation, realizing this is not the end of the world as it was very much cast in the Al Gore setup. This is a problem, along with many, many other problems we need to fix. But, we need to fix.
How's the movie doing?
The movie is doing very well. It just opened on Friday in Canada. I was up there, and it got really good reviews virtually in all papers, which is really cool.
Well, I'm telling you, I want to go see it.
You need to.
It's not playing in Jersey, so I'll make the trek into New York. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. All right.